You know, I think I think it's something that a lot of people have, taken for granted over the years, and you know, talking about it, opening up and talking about it more, you know, I think it's something that like I don't really want to talk about all this because it's too dark, bro. It's like I don't want to talk about school. I don't want to talk about college. I don't want to talk about Juniper. I don't want to talk about Wolf and like, but like it's for the channel and it's for Dino and he raps about these rats. So you know, and again, I went through all that. Like I'll openly admit this. Yeah, like when I was at New Park, like every second, every minute, every day, every week, every month, every year I spent in that shithole, that toxic environment, that atmosphere, that stale place, it was not a nice place to be, fam. And the thing is, like, I was there and like I took for me personally speaking on it, like I took everything like I did back in the day like for granted. I did, I went there. And the thing is, people talk about like like sophistication and education and be better than everyone else. And the thing is like if you'd have told me that, you know like if I like you people talk so much about like if you could go back in time and change something that you did and went through, that would be something. But I'm not saying that I would ever want to go back in time and undo that, because again, like I went through that. And that's kind of why I'm in this position. I'm in this predicament, you know what I mean. I look at some of the things that I've had over the years, and some of the friendships that I've made, and some of the things that I've lost. And the thing is like when you go through something in life, you're the only person that's gone through that thing. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I've never had friendships with people that are solid, that are real. You know, because people don't like, if you've noticed, this whole generation, like, you don't like, you'll go, like, say for example, you go to a restaurant, yeah, and you see people in relationships and they're holding hands and they're being romantic with each other. Like that's very rare. Like I'd put that there, because the thing is, it's like, if you think about it, like you think about this whole day and age, it's like social media this, social media that. And that's kind of why when you look at something like card or games that you'd play, like that there was, like, people would make those games, people would put those there, and fully support it. And people are like, well, people aren't really thinking about this, like people aren't talking about it. And I think that's kind of disrespectful, because it's kind of why people don't like I don't think people talk about it. You know what I mean? And for me, it's like I don't talk about, like I said, I don't talk about Wolfer, and I don't talk about Juniper. It's like, it's a moment in my life, 2019. Like, I've made these freestyles, and they're mine, and I own the rights to everything that I do, even my accounts, my accounts on PlayStation, social medias and all that, like, YouTube and that, like, I own the rights to it, because especially going off what you said about New Park and that, like, I went there, and I went through all that, all that struggle, all that pain. I went through it by myself, and no one understands that better than me. And I'm not trying to say that no one has to, or everyone's thick that they don't. It's like we deal with it in different ways. And going off what I wanted to say about it, like, this generation doesn't understand love and understand respect and understand, like, inspiration, because people will say, be inspired this, be inspired by that. And it's like, you like, all it is, right, is people saying those words, and it's meaningless. When I say in a freestyle, like, say for example, I've made a freestyle and I've spat real bars on it, and it's been versatile, not just swear words, but me getting to the point, right? Or I start the freestyle with my client has informed me to address with you, like I say something like that, I immediately think in my mind, this freestyle, I know what's coming, and I'm ready for it, and I feel so moved by it. Like this is literally what many singers and musicians don't do anymore. Like Michael Jackson was one of those guys who he knew how to sell it when he went to concerts. And I think, like, if someone was to walk up to me and say, if you could see anyone live in person perform live, like, who would it be? I would still say Michael Jackson, despite all the stories, all the stuff I've heard about him. At the end of the day, he was the only one in the world who knew how to sell it. You know what I mean? And when I say it like that, I say it like, he could dance, he could sing. He was the only person that knew how to do it, and he did it in an extraordinary way. And that's kind of why I used to like him. He was one of my favorite singers growing up, and I don't listen to any of his music now because I think once a person is gone, it's like, the stories you hear and the amount of people that talk about him and like, remember that person when they were around, and I'm like people don't understand, like, that person's gone, but you'll never talk about what they did for the community, what they did for the scene, like, and for me personally, I think about this generation. I don't rap like everyone else, and that's good. I don't think about my past. I don't think about Juniper or Wolfren, and the only thing that I ever do as Dino is, I gotta make it the most interesting freestyle. Otherwise, it's just gonna be me spitting bars and that's it. And again, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to grime freestyles, when it comes to anything on that topic, majority of the time you'll see it within someone, like the potential within them, like they got a fast flow. But it's never really like I sat there and I learned something from that. And I think whenever I listen to myself back, that's what I want to feel. Like, I don't want to have it like a bare generic freestyle, like something what someone else would say, or something what, that guy off that channel said. Like, I want it to be mine, and I want to own that, right? I want to own it that, you know, I did that, I said that, and no one can take that from me. And again, like, going back to Springdale, Highfields, New Park, talking about all that, right? Getting into character. This is my mood. This is how it is, and you know, because I don't want to hit a brick wall, and I feel whenever I've been in these situations, of these interactions, speaking with these people, I've always thought in my mind that's kind of where it's at, and that's kind of where they're pushing it, and and all it is, right? I'll admit this. All people will ever do is push. They will provoke. They will antagonize. And I'm the best artist in the country, and that should frustrate people. And I think, but the thing is, they won't get frustrated by that. They won't say, oh, Dino, he's the best artist in the country. We're pissed off because that's not us. And the thing is, what people don't realize is, but you can. Just because I made a freestyle or a discussion and I said I'm the best artist in the country does not mean you can't be too. But you think about all these restrictions. You're the type of person, in an example, to say you made a social media account and they don't like what you say on it, or they try and tell you what you can and can't say. Like, I don't work like that, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, and the reason I don't work like that, there's a story behind this. There's a reason I don't do what these people tell me. See, whenever I think about, like, and again, New Park School was one of those facilities. It wasn't a school, but yeah, it was labeled a school for, like, helping people, in small, like, that loved small environments. Again, I wasn't the most talkative person when I was at those places, Highfield, Springdale. Like, I was the kind of person that would just go to class, do my work, and go home. Yeah, I was naughty. I was over the rails. I was attitude. I was arrogant. I was swearing at people. And the thing is, it's like I was going through grief, and no one really understood this. Like, people can say, was it Daniel or Aaron, or your cousins or your family members? It's like, it's kind of, for me personally, it's deeper than this, though. It's deeper than that, because I don't want to put the blame on anybody or anything. I just want to say, like, it's me. I'm working from my own grief, and that's why I'm the best artist in the country, because I'm the only one real enough to admit that it's my struggle and it's my story and it's my path, my road. everybody else thinks differently than that though. They will say, you know, it's that person's fault why that doesn't work out for me, or that person stopped me from achieving this. And for me, there is nothing in my way from being the best. There is nothing in my way from being at the top, from being at the top of the leaderboard screen. A lot of people have noticed this and noticed my rise to the top, and they've tried to stop that. You know, I always talk about Firewalker, you know, when I was there, you know, and it wasn't 2017, it was kind of like way before that. Like people said, you know, you got to spar that guy, you got to take it from that guy. And this is how I know you're full of shit. Like, you would allow a person to attack me physically, like make my nose bleed, or, you know, come at me with a vicious assault, like how we do in sparring, right? And I would go back on them, like I would spar them hard. Like, I want to give that person, like, again, helping this generation. If other people see that a person's attacking me and I'm not attacking them, they'll think that I'm shook to fight that person. But we're not fighting. I'm not fighting you. I'm sparring you because I want to help you be better. And I don't, like, again, I don't want you to hit me hard. I want you to think about your attack. I want to attack you. Like, I want to put my jab there and I want you to counter it and I want you to be effective. That's helping this generation. Nobody thinks like that though.